Once upon a time, nestled at the very edge of an ancient, whispering forest, lived a little girl whose heart was as bright as the morning sun. She was known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood, a name she earned because of a beautiful velvet cloak gifted to her by her grandmother. This cloak was special. It was made of a fabric so soft it felt like a gentle hug, colored in a deep, soothing crimson that reminded one of a peaceful sunset. On this particular morning, the forest was draped in a silver mist that clung to the pine needles like tiny pearls. The air was cool, carrying the scent of fresh rain and wild honey. Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her into their cozy kitchen, where the smell of freshly baked bread filled the room, making everything feel warm and safe. "Little one," her mother said, with a voice as calm as a steady stream, "your grandmother is feeling a bit tired today. I've prepared a basket with warm bread, some sweet butter, and a jar of mountain berries to help her rest. I want you to take this to her cottage. But remember, the forest is a place for quiet reflection. Walk slowly on the mossy path, breathe in the fragrance of the flowers, and let the song of the birds guide your heart to peace." Little Red Riding Hood nodded, her eyes sparkling with kindness. She adjusted her soft red hood and took the wicker basket in her hand. As she stepped out of her cottage, the wooden door closed with a soft, satisfying click. She began her journey on a path made of velvet green moss. Every step she took felt like pressing her feet into a plush pillow. The tall trees above her leaned in, their leaves rustling a gentle greeting. "Welcome, welcome. Find your peace." She wasn't in a hurry. She knew that in this forest, time didn't move in minutes, but in the slow opening of a flower petal. As she walked, the mist began to lift, revealing shafts of golden light that danced between the tree trunks. She watched a family of tiny bluebirds, teaching their fledglings how to glide on the morning breeze. Their chirps were not loud, but melodic, like a distant flute playing a lullaby. Little Red Riding Hood took a deep, slow breath, feeling the crisp air fill her lungs and relax her shoulders. She was entering the heart of the woods, where the world's noise faded away into a perfect, natural silence. Deep within the forest, where the sunlight turned into a soft emerald glow, lived a great gray wolf. In the old stories, people were often afraid of the wolf, but in this forest, the wolf was the guardian of the quiet. He was a magnificent creature, with fur as thick and soft as a winter blanket, and eyes that held the wisdom of 1,000 moons. On this afternoon, the wolf was lying beneath a giant weeping willow tree, its long silvery branches swaying like curtains in a gentle wind. He wasn't hungry or fierce. He was simply enjoying the warmth of a sun patch on his back. As Little Red Riding Hood approached, the wolf let out a long, slow yawn that showed his big, tired teeth. But his expression was as calm as a sleeping lake. He raised his head and saw the flash of red through the trees. Instead of hiding, he waited. When the girl reached the willow tree, she sat down on a smooth, gray stone near him. "Hello, Mr. Wolf," she whispered, her voice barely louder than the rustle of the leaves. The wolf looked at her and spoke in a voice that sounded like the deep, low vibration of a cello. "Hello, little one. You walk with such a quiet heart. Where does your path lead today?" Little Red Riding Hood smiled and showed him her basket. "I'm going to my grandmother's house to bring her some rest and berries." The wolf nodded his large head slowly. "A noble journey, but you must be careful not to rush. If you take the path through the meadow of blue butterflies, You will find the deepest peace before you arrive." The wolf stood up and stretched his long legs, his fur shimmering like silk. He decided to walk with her for a while, not as a hunter, but as a companion. Together they moved through the trees. The contrast was beautiful. The small girl in her bright red cloak and the large silver-gray wolf walking side by side in perfect harmony. Every time a twig snapped, the wolf would pause, ensuring the forest remained still. He showed her the secret places where the deer slept during the day, tucked away in nests of tall grass. Little Red Riding Hood felt a sense of immense safety. With the great grey wolf by her side, the forest felt even more like a giant, protective home. They reached the edge of the butterfly meadow, and the wolf bowed his head. "Go now," he whispered. "Let the scent of the flowers tuck you in." The meadow that the wolf had described was the most beautiful place Little Red Riding Hood had ever seen. It was a wide, open sea of soft lavender and glowing bluebells that reached as far as the eye could see. But what made it truly magical were the blue butterflies. There were thousands of them, their wings made of a material that looked like iridescent silk. They didn't fly fast. They drifted through the air like falling leaves in a slow-motion dream. As Little Red Riding Hood stepped into the meadow, the fragrance hit her like a warm wave of peace. It was a mix of sweet nectar, dried chamomile, and fresh mountain air. It was a scent that made her head feel light and her heart feel heavy with a pleasant, sleepy weight. She walked through the center of the flowers, her red cloak brushing against the blue petals, creating a soft hush-hush sound. The butterflies began to follow her, circling her head in a slow, hypnotic spiral. She stopped for a moment and closed her eyes, listening to the sound of the meadow. It wasn't silent, but the sounds were so tiny and rhythmic that they felt like a heartbeat. She heard the soft thrum of the butterfly wings and the distant muffled sound of a waterfall that sounded like a continuous shh. She felt as if the meadow was a giant bed and the sky was a blue blanket being pulled over her. "I could sleep right here," she murmured to herself. Her steps became even slower. She noticed a small stream cutting through the flowers, its water so clear it looked like liquid glass. She knelt down and dipped her fingers into the water. It was cool and refreshing, washing away the last of her tiredness and replacing it with a deep, meditative calm. She saw her reflection in the water, a peaceful girl in a red hood, surrounded by a world of blue. She felt a deep connection to everything around her. The butterflies landed on her basket, hitching a ride as she continued toward her grandmother's house. She was nearly there now, and she could see the smoke from the chimney rising in a straight, lazy line toward the afternoon moon. Finally, Little Red Riding Hood reached the small wooden cottage where her grandmother lived. The house was built into the side of a hill, covered in soft green vines and pink climbing roses that smelled like summer dreams. She knocked on the door, 3 soft rhythmic taps. Knock, knock, knock. A gentle voice from inside called out, "Come in, my dear. The door is open for peace." Little Red Riding Hood entered and found her grandmother sitting in a large winged armchair by the fireplace. The room was bathed in the warm, flickering orange light of the fire. The grandmother looked up and smiled, her face a map of kind lines and happy memories. "I have brought you bread and berries, grandmother," the girl said, placing the basket on the table. But the grandmother wasn't hungry for food. She was hungry for the peace her granddaughter brought with her. "Sit with me, little one," she said. patting the soft, knitted quilt on her lap. Little Red Riding Hood climbed up and snuggled against her grandmother. Just then, a soft scratching was heard at the door. It was the great grey wolf. He entered quietly and lay down on the rug in front of the fire, turning himself into a giant, fluffy grey cushion. The scene was complete. The fire crackling softly, the grandmother stroking the girl's hair, and the wolf snoring gently at their feet. The grandmother began to tell a story, but her voice was so low and melodic that the words turned into a hum. She told of the forest that never sleeps but always rests, and of the stars that keep watch over the dreams of children. Outside, the sun had finally disappeared, and the forest was bathed in deep indigo. The owls began their nightly "hoo, hoo," a sound that acted like a final signal for sleep. Little Red Riding Hood's eyes finally closed, her head resting on her grandmother's shoulder. The grandmother's head soon leaned back, and she too joined the girl in the land of dreams. Even the fire burned low, turning into glowing embers that watched over them like tiny ground stars. In that little cottage, wrapped in the scent of roses and wood smoke, everyone was safe, everyone was loved, and everyone was fast asleep. Good night, forest. Good night, wolf. Good night, little one.